Hello and welcome back to the Brew Interviews, the only podcast that prefers Gwen Stacy over Mary Jane. I am Robbie, and joining me as always via the internet is my best friend Lauren. It is episode 85, and again we are doing a March Madness bracket. Only this one's going to be a little more super. So grab your capes, your magic hammers, and join Lauren and I on Earth 616 this week on the Brew Interviews.
The Brew Interviews, coast to coast, brews, faves, and more with Lauren and Robbie.
This episode of the Brew Interviews is sponsored by AdamandEve.com and the Packy Beer Store, but you will hear more about them later on. For now, Lauren, how you been?
Well, Robbie, I have been just dandy, I guess.
Sweating?
Yeah. Well, actually, my apartment is much cooler than my old apartment, so I am not finding I'm sweating as bad here.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it is good. But it has been hot out. It's been raining a shit ton this week, and I love it. I live, like, in the best place for rainbows. Every time it rains, there's a rainbow outside my window.
The best place for rainbows.
It's awesome.
Oh my god.
Yes. But how have you been, Robbie? Holding it together in the heat?
Sweating. I also smoked a meatloaf.
I did not think that that's what you were going to say. Yep.
Yeah. It turned out okay. We kind of fucked up the recipe a little bit for a binder in the meatloaf. Normally it's breadcrumbs.
Right.
But this called for potato chips. And it said
Ooh.
6 ounces of potato chips. And in our brain, we thought like a measuring cup 6 ounces, not 6 ounces in weight. And that's definitely what it was because it just fell apart.
See, I also would have thought 6 ounces
Yeah.
in a measuring cup, not in weight.
Yeah. So screw you, Alton Brown.
Fuck you, Alton Brown.
I'm just kidding, Alton Brown. He's amazing.
I know. We all know you love him.
Yeah, he's the best. Anyway, Lauren, what are you drinking this week?
Well, Robbie, this week I am drinking La Pingüinta en Fuego, which means what, Robbie?
Either the fiery penguin or the penguin is on fire or something along those lines.
Well, the bottle art is what are those Mexican wrestlers called?
Luchadors.
Yeah, it's like that kind of theme, and it's a nun who is
nice.
literally setting guys on fire in
I see the
a
penguin
wrestling wrestling ring.
Wrestling wing.
A wrestling wing. It is made by Clown Shoes Brewing in Ipswich, Mass. 9% ABV, and it is an imperial stout aged in a rum barrels with habaneros. And it punched me in the face the first time I took a sip. Robbie had to redo the intro because it was so distracting. It is chocolatey. It is definitely a little bit spicy, like that tingle that you would get from a habanero. It's not like hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely get a little bit of alcohol from the rum. I've been extra aging this. Like, I've had this probably for about a year, like in the dark depths of my cabinets.
Yeah.
But I definitely get a lot of like cocoa taste, like that bitter, like dark chocolatey kind of deliciousness.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had a clown shoe stout when we had the Golden Ghouls Alyssa on.
Oh yeah, the Exorcist one, right?
Brunch Exorcism.
Yeah.
Which was delicious.
Mm. Yeah, this was a lot better than I was expecting it to be.
Clown Shoes does good stuff.
Yeah, Clown Shoes does do good stuff.
Yeah. Their mango kolsch?
Yeah, you like that one. I
That's
like their
the one I
space
love.
cake. Their space
Yep,
cake IPA.
space cake's good. Yep.
It's all good. I love Clown Shoes. Love you, Clown Shoes. Thanks for making great beer. And I'm drinking it in my map drink repeat class because this week is the Ezra User Conference for all the GIS folks out there that aren't listening.
Exactly.
What are you drinking this week, Robbie?
This week I am drinking a special beer from Stone Cold Steve Austin, the very famous wrestler. I am drinking Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing Company.
Give me a hell yeah!
Cool.
It is 6.7% alcohol, and it's actually brewed by New Realm in Virginia Beach, Virginia, but it's brewed for El Segundo.
I think
which is
that makes
confusing.
sense. I think they probably are like a host brewer or whatever, you know what I mean?
guess,
like
yeah.
they
I
rent
think
out their brewing space or something.
Yeah. I think El Segundo is based out of Texas because that's where Stone Cold lives and all that
Right.
stuff. So, yeah, but it's actually, I thought it was going to be really kind of gimmicky, but it's not. It's actually quite delicious.
What style beer was it again? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
IPA.
An IPA. Is it like a citrusy or fruity? Like
It is. Citra hops, Cascade, and Chinook hops.
Oh, I love Cascade hops.
It's just a nice, easy drinking beer.
Is
And
it
I kinda
something that
enjoy
you could drink like all the time?
Oh yeah. If I just wanted to, I don't know, get a little buzz or, you know what I mean, just kind of chill out. Perfect.
Yeah.
Not too heavy, 6.7%.
Oh, yum. I really liked his show that he had.
Oh, which one?
It was like an obstacle course. It was like a tough.
Oh yeah.
Tough
It wasn't an
Mudder
obstacle
type.
course. It was like basically people fighting and doing like activities that made them tough.
Well, it was like they would do them separately, but then they would have like one of the competitions was like fighting against each other. Like they had to get them
Yeah.
out of the ring or whatever. I fucking
Yes.
love that show.
I remember that very, very vividly.
Yep.
So before we get into the main topic of the night, I have a little bit of a disclaimer. As you heard in the intro, we're going to do superheroes for a March Madness bracket tonight. We are not experts in the universe of Marvel or DC.
I know nothing.
Yeah, I know a bit. Lauren knows basically nothing. So if you do get angry and you nerd rage, direct your angry emails towards Lauren.
Yes,
So,
I will be
thank you.
happy to be educated.
She's like, Robbie, I don't know what any of this means.
I did some research. All right.
Yeah.
I watched some movies. I watched some YouTube things.
You watch some movies?
I watched some movies. I watched Wonder Woman and I watched Aquaman, which by the way was fucking awesome and I would absolutely rate it a 4.5. It was so good.
Aquaman?
Yeah, I loved that movie. It was awesome.
I like the movie. Well, we'll get into it.
All right.
All right. So you all know how this should work. We have 16 superheroes, 8 from Marvel, 8 from DC. We did 3 male superheroes from each, 3 female superheroes, 1 creature superhero from each, and 1 kind of just wild card. Like it was kind of anything.
Yeah.
Now, the determination of this March Madness bracket is who we think is cooler, who we think deserves to be the coolest superhero out of the ones we have chosen. So that's another thing. Not every superhero is on here, so don't get your fucking nerd fucking underwear in a bunch. Okay.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Pick that Batman underwear wedgie.
Yeah, Jordan. Let's call it Jordan.
Jordan.
Jordan,
Fuck
you
you.
nerd.
Sorry.
We're going to start on the Marvel side of things because Marvel is vastly superior in every way, especially the movies. All right.
Oh, good. I agree with that.
Yeah. First up, we have Captain Marvel herself versus our one random, which is Blade.
Blade. So I like Captain Marvel better than Blade.
Because she's a woman.
No, because I think Blade is dumb.
How is Blade dumb?
Because I don't like vampires. I think vampires are dumb, and I think anything that has to do with them is dumb, and I'm sorry, okay?
Have you ever seen the Blade movies?
No, I haven't.
They're amazing!
I'm sure they are, but I just don't think Blade is as cool as Captain Marvel.
Blade is like the epitome of cool. It's Wesley Snipes in sunglasses and fucking katanas and killing fucking vampires. It's badass. He kills Dracula in one of the movies.
Well, that's cool, but Captain Marvel is like an awesome superhero. She's like, I don't know. I just think that Blade is dumb. I just don't like vampires. That's really...
Captain Marvel is the equivalent of Superman on the Marvel side. Like they kind of just made her super, super powerful, so they had an excuse to kill everybody. I don't. That's one of the reasons why I loved the movie. The movie was great, and I liked I can't remember her fucking name who played her.
I didn't even know there was a movie.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie. I can't remember the name of the girl who played her. She got a lot of flack saying they, like I think normal nerd stuff. Like they're just not as happy as it could have been.
Up to character, all that stuff.
But I think she did a good job. I didn't read her comics at all. I read the Blade comics. Well, it's kind of comics. He did have comics later on, but like his original appearance in comics was him killing, like or trying to kill Dracula and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's kind of cool. But I have to give my vote to Blade. I just think he's too cool.
Robbie, I will give you this one because honestly, I don't particularly care either way on this bracket.
Okay, so Blade moves on to the second round.
Congratulations, Blade. Wow, I can't talk at all.
Up next, we have the ever famous Spider-Man versus Venom. Now, these were randomized, by the way. This sounds like this one was matched up on purpose, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, and I when you said that, I was like, oh, good, it'll be randomized. Like, I won't have to, like, really worry about Robbie matching them up. And then I saw some of them, and I was like, God fucking damn it.
Yep.
These are not ones I want to have to address on the first round.
So, Spider-Man versus Venom. Spider-Man had some good movies, especially the newer stuff.
Yeah, definitely the newer movies.
Venom, I liked the Venom movie that came out. People were mad once again because they said it wasn't R-rated, and it should have been R-rated and more gore and stuff. But that's a lot of complaining, like nitpicking.
Yeah.
Like, it was still a good movie. Tom Hardy did a great job.
I wanted to see Venom, but never did.
It's good.
So I should put that on my watch list. Yeah.
You should watch all of the Disney Marvel movies. They're so good. They're so good. Yeah. So what's your vote for, Lauren? Spider-Man, who has the powers of a spider, or Venom, who is basically a parasite that takes over his body and just does cool shit?
I think Venom is way cooler. I think just
Venom
the
is kinda
concept
cooler.
of, like, Venom is cooler than Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not even close.
That he's
Venom
like
is
a
just
he's
cool.
like a symbiote. What are they called? Like a
symbiote.
symbiote. Yeah, like that
Symbiote,
concept
yeah.
to me is just really neat, as opposed
very
to
cool.
Peter Parker, who just flies around on webs.
He was a nerd.
Yeah, he was a nerd. I mean, I like nerds, but
That's why so many people related to him back in the day, was because he was the nerdy, not
Right.
popular, unathletic kid who all of a sudden became a hero. So
exactly.
up next, we have a very difficult one for myself. We have Wolverine, which everybody loves and thinks is cool, versus one of my favorite heroes of all time, She-Hulk, Ms. Jennifer Walters.
And this is one that I, again, don't really have an opinion on, because
Really?
I don't personally have any sort of attachment to
Wolverine, She-Hulk?
Thank you. Oh my god, I literally just had like the worst space out. Yes, Wolverine. I don't really have any attachment to Wolverine, and I don't really know that much about She-Hulk. Like, even when I was trying to do research, like, there isn't like too much out there compared to like all of the other superheroes to find. Like, everyone kind of says the same thing. You know what I mean?
She's not as popular as the other characters, especially not as the regular Hulk, Bruce Banner.
Right.
But She-Hulk is Jennifer Walters, who is Bruce Banner's cousin.
Oh, right.
So she
and
is
she
cousins
got
with
like
the Hulk.
infected because she died and he had to save her and he gave her a blood transfusion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got shot by gangsters that were trying to kill him, gave him a blood transfusion. I love the She-Hulk. I think it's cool because I love the Hulk, but this was a smart Hulk. Because when she turns into the She-Hulk, she retains all of her mind.
Right. I was
And she's a lawyer, so she just lawyers as She-Hulk, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's like an improved version of the
Yes.
Hulk, like a evolved version, which
Yeah,
I really like.
I own the original run of 5 comics of She-Hulk from the 70s.
Oh, really? Cool.
Oh, I love them. They're so cool. Yeah. So we both agree She-Hulk, or
yes,
do you want to
I
Wolverine?
definitely agree. She-Hulk. I fell
She-Hulk.
asleep during Logan in the movie theater, so
What?
I had been drinking a
Oh my
lot though, so
God.
that might have had something to do with it.
The only thing that stopped me from not crying during Logan was I was deployed in Afghanistan, and there were other grown-ass men.
I probably woke up to that part where I should have been crying and realized I should have been
Yeah.
crying and then just went back to sleep.
Oh, Logan was amazing. I love Wolverine, but I love She-Hulk more because I actually read the comics growing up.
All right, She-Hulk it is. Way cooler than Wolverine.
Them is fighting words.
Bring it.
All right, last up in the Marvel section, we have Storm from X-Men versus Iron Man. Before the last Marvel movie that came out, Endgame, I would have said Storm. But Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr.'s character in the last Marvel movie was insanely epic.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean, it's when did the first Iron Man come out? 2007, 8?
Yeah, I was gonna say when we were in high school still.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, from then until 2018, that's over 10 years of films just building up to this ending. No film franchise has ever done that, and he was the one that started it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I've never
So-
seen any of the Iron Man movies.
Oh, you're missing out on the first one. The 2 and 3 are whatever.
And I do want to see them. I think Iron Man is a really cool character.
Yes.
But I think Storm is cooler because she actually has superpowers.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to just like a really cool suit that does everything.
I mean, Tony would kill her in real life if they fought. I'm just saying. But
Well, this isn't a competition as who would win, Robbie.
Oh,
Okay.
I wanted to fuck Storm so bad in the X-Men movies when Halle Berry played her.
I mean, I didn't even see the X-Men movies, but I also wanted to do that just from the pictures that I've seen.
So, because we both want to fuck her,
Storm moves on.
Storm moves on. That's a good reason.
Yeah, that's a great reason.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine, like, if you were having sex with her and she orgasmed and just, like, lightning blows out all your, like, your transformer and
And
shit?
your hair is just like fucking standing on end. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
And you have white hair and your pubes turn white because the...
Can you see my arm, Robbie? I have goosebumps thinking
Goosebumps.
about this.
You gotta fuck
I literally-
Lauren's going to be fucking outside in the street during a
Yeah. Well, it has
thunderstorm.
been thundering around here a lot lately.
All right. Now we move on to DC, otherwise known as Detective Comics, if you didn't know that, Lauren.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
No, I kind of figured. First up, we have literally my favorite hero of all time in Swamp Thing versus Wonder Woman.
All right. This is a good matchup. I like it. I didn't know that Swamp Thing was your favorite, but I should have known that Swamp
Yeah,
Thing was
you
your
probably
favorite. Just because of the character. And I think we're going to agree on this one, Robbie. I think that Swamp Thing is way cooler than Wonder Woman.
Thank you. I like Wonder Woman. In the comics, she's I always thought she was boring. I hated
I
her as
agree.
a kid.
I agree.
The
with
movie
that
that came out, it was awesome. I liked the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. In my opinion, it was the first good DC film aside from like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. So like The Dark Knight and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
See, then that's funny because I watched The Dark Knight and I watched Wonder Woman, and those are the only DC hero movies I've watched.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, except for Aquaman, but
And the Dark Knight trilogy is totally opposite of anything else DC's ever made.
yeah.
So that's why they're so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Swamp Thing. I own the first original run of the first 5 Swamp Things. It cost me a little bit of money, but
I'm
was
sure
okay.
it did. Jesus. I just think his character's so cool that because he's like an elemental. Like, he literally can just like control
Yeah.
the earth.
Yeah.
All
and
of
when
the
he like
earth.
gets hurt, he just like goes back into the fucking swamps and the mud and just heals
Yeah.
up. He was just cool. And he was a misunderstood character.
Right.
People thought he was like an evil creature, but he wasn't. He was trying to help.
No, his
everybody.
best friend murdered him to marry his wife.
Exactly.
What a
I mean, they came out
dick.
they had a cartoon of the Swamp Thing.
Yeah. I think I remember watching some Swamp Thing cartoons.
They had Toy Line. They made a Nintendo game for the original NES back in the day.
Interesting. I wonder if
That's one of my collecting holy grails is the Swamp Thing game. It's like $80. I just haven't found it for cheap because I'm cheap, but you know what I
Of
mean.
course you are.
All right, next up we have what I think is underrated Blue Beetle
Uh-huh.
and Supergirl.
Ooh. So I know more about the Blue Beetle than I do Supergirl.
Okay.
But I don't know much about either.
So
I just think the Blue Beetle is cool because of like the scribe thing that it
Scarab?
just scarab. Yeah, what did I say? Scribe.
Scribe.
Scarab that just like fucking attaches to your body and makes you Blue Beetle. It's pretty.
So there's like what 3 or 4 versions of the Blue Beetle since
yeah,
the
there's like
30s.
3 of them. Yeah.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Sorry for that awkward break. Lauren's apartment building was on fire, but that seems like an appropriate time to hear a word from our sponsors. The sponsor of this episode is adamandeve.com. Are you like my lesbian podcast partner Lauren and stuck in a boring, sexless relationship?
Wait, what?
Luckily, there's a website for you.
I'm boring?
Adam and Eve is an online store where you get all the bedroom essentials to help spice up your relationship.
Can we get back to this sexless thing?
With an assortment of adult toys, lingerie, and sexy accessories, Adam and Eve has got you covered in the bedroom, or in the kitchen, or in the public library bathroom, basically anywhere you can have sex.
The library?
And even if you're not in a relationship, Adam and Eve has got your lonely ass covered as well. With an assortment of lubes, toys, and other pleasurable items, adamandeve.com will make you feel like you're not jerking off alone in your apartment ever again. So remember, if you're gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, pan-fried, or even deep-fried, Adam and Eve has got you covered in the bedroom. So head over to adamandeve.com and use our promo code BREW4U and get 50% off almost any item in store. That's promo code BREW4U, the number 4, at checkout and get 50% off almost any item. And when you do, you also get 10 free gifts, courtesy of AdamandEve.com, including 6 spicy movies and a 3-piece bonus kit. It's like a 3-piece chicken bucket, but, better. Now get out there and do some consensual the kind where you stick your in their then you get the Thousand Island dressing, you rub it all over your and you just jam it in there. You know what I'm saying?
Salad dressing?
AdamandEve.com for all your needs. Cheers. Are you tired of drinking the same beers over and over again? Then you gotta try the Packy Beer Store.
The Packy.
With a selection of over 1,000 beers, you'll never have to drink that boring shit ever again.
America.
And guess what?
Guessing now.
When you mention the Brew Interviews podcast or bring in one of our business cards, you can get 5% off any one item in the store.
Epic.
Be sure to write us a review on Apple Podcasts so we can send you a business card to get that sweet, sweet discount.
Super sweet.
So head over to the Packy Beer Store, located at 581 2nd Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. That's 581 2nd Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Now go get yourself some beer.
Ad read over.
And we are back. I believe before your apartment got set on fire, we were talking about the Blue Beetle versus Supergirl in the March Madness bracket.
Blue Beetle versus Supergirl, when my days were not filled with flame coming
Flames.
up from beneath me.
So we left off saying that the Blue Beetle had a lot of iterations, but the most famous one, the one I'm thinking of, not Daryl Reeves, Daryl something. It's like one of the later versions of the Blue Beetle. It's the more modern version.
The one, is it the one where he didn't actually use I keep wanting to call it a scribe.
A scarab.
Scarab, thank you.
Yes.
Is that he doesn't actually use the scarab, he just makes his own
No. So the version of the Blue Beetle that I'm thinking of, he has the scarab and it kind of infuses with his body and goes to his spine, and then that's what creates the special armor and all the cool weaponry that you see.
Oh, that's the Spanish kid.
Yes, Reyes. Daryl Reyes?
No.
Daryl Reyes? Something Reyes. Anyway, the
No, it
scarab
starts with
came
the
from
J.
space.
It starts with the J, has the H
Sure.
sound to it.
The scarab came from space, and he got a hold of it, and that's how he got the superpowers. And then we have Supergirl, which is basically just the equivalent of Superman. Way too overpowered, way too everything. I don't know. I don't hate her as much as Superman, because Superman is the worst. I think he's the worst superhero creation ever.
Oh, I'm so glad that you think that. I think Superman is so dumb.
He's boring.
Yeah, I agree. He's
Yeah.
the Man of Steel and all, he has a boring cover story. All he does is fly around and a stone can fuck him up.
I just think he's stupid. I think she's not great. I think Blue Beetle.
I think that just both Superman and Supergirl are just uninteresting characters. They're just uninteresting
100%.
superheroes. Blue Beetle? What? A scarab that falls from an alien culture and just fucking infuses it. I'm so excited. Infuses itself into a human.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Way better.
character is way more personable anyways.
Yeah. Well, he's a teenager, so you can kind of
Exactly.
relate to him at that time if you're reading comics.
Yeah.
All right. So Blue Beetle moves on.
Blue Beetle moves on.
Next up, we have Batman versus Catwoman. Also wasn't planned.
This is so interesting.
I love Batman. I think he's amazing. I think it's kind of hard, at least in this competition, to beat Batman in terms of coolness, especially with Catwoman.
I think Catwoman is the least interesting person on our whole list.
Thank you. Yeah, she's a robber.
Yeah, she's not even a superhero. She's a villain.
Well, she mixes in between. It's milky. You know
That's
what I mean?
funny. I like that you used the word milky.
Milky, and now I regret using the term milky.
Yep. Wow. All right. Yeah.
Not much to say here.
She's dumb. I like that Halle Berry played both Catwoman and Storm, though. I like that she was in both worlds.
Halle Berry got a Razzie Award for her role as Catwoman.
I don't know what a Razzie is.
A Razzie is an award for the worst movie of the year.
Oh, I absolutely would have given. I have seen Catwoman, actually, not all in one sitting because I can't sit through the whole movie because it's not
bad.
good.
It's bad.
But I've seen most of it in bits and pieces, and it's bad.
But man, was she hot. Man, was she hot.
Are you kidding me? What if you could have like a threesome with Catwoman and Storm?
So just sex with Halle Berry?
Yeah, but like at the same as two different people at the same time.
Good. So I'm getting electrocuted and my shit's getting stolen. That's a good time.
Wow, that would be a really like notorious duo if they wanted to
Storm and
start
Catwoman?
robbing men. Yeah.
She would knock out the power. Storm would knock out the power, and then Catwoman would molest you. What would she do? Rob you
No,
and molest you?
Storm distracts you with her sex appeal
Oh, okay.
and then electrocutes you and like then I don't know, you like pass out and then Catwoman just goes and steals everything or like
steals your TD Bank North card.
yes that. But the strip's worn out so it's worthless anyways.
True. All right, so Batman moves on. I think we can both agree.
Mm-hmm.
Last in the DC section is The Flash, Mr. Barry Gordon versus Aquaman. Hey everyone, sorry for the sudden pause, but I'm dumb and realized in editing that I said The Flash's real name was Barry Gordon. It's actually Barry Allen. I think I was combining Barry Allen and, Flash Gordon or Jim Gordon from Batman. I really don't know. Either way, I apologize to all the nerds. My bad. Now back to the normal programming.
This is the one that I was upset about you matching up randomly.
Yeah,
because
my fault.
Yeah, this is your fault for pressing that randomization button. Fuck you. I really like The Flash and I really like Aquaman. I think they're very cool characters. Like The
Yes.
Flash can like literally like time travel because he can move so fast and he can vibrate so fast that he can move through walls, which is the coolest shit ever. Basically,
He's very overpowered.
He's just like crazy overpowered. But Aquaman can like breathe underwater and talk to fish and like he can live in both worlds. Like
Yeah.
like fuck Superman couldn't do shit underwater. No, fuck you.
He could.
No,
He
shut
can.
up. Shh, Robbie.
He just
quiet.
can't talk to fish. Well,
Yeah,
Superman can live
exactly.
underwater.
Only the true ruler of the sea can talk to the fish.
So there's a couple versions of Aquaman.
Right.
The Aquaman everybody thinks of, at least before the movies, before Jason Momoa took over.
Yeah.
Was kind of the cheesy, corny, your dad's Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody liked him. It was bad. It was just fucking bad.
Look at SpongeBob. Like
Basically.
they fucking
They made fun
played
of
those
it, yeah.
characters off of
Yeah.
Aquaman.
But the new Aquaman, which kind of originated from a later section of comics, which is Jason Momoa's character, which is more grizzled and more kind of relatable,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And I believe in the comics, that version of Aquaman has like a hook hand.
Cool.
Like it's just fucking badass. He's
I
just
feel like it would be a
fucking awesome.
trident hand. I feel like that
That'd
would
be
be
cool
more
too.
appropriate.
That's called a fork. Just a
A
fork.
fork. Fork hand.
Just a fork hand.
Hey, you want a
fork?
fork? Hi.
I've never cared for the Flash. I really haven't. I don't know. I think he's always been cheesy in my opinion because the outfit kind
he's
of
definitely
changes.
cheesy. He's definitely cheesy.
Yeah, like Silver Age Flash differs from the Golden Age and like different sections of comics, but I just couldn't get into the Flash.
I'm more than happy to give this round to Aquaman.
Perfect.
Great. I mean, I would have been happy either way because I like both of
Yeah.
those heroes. So.
I hate the TV show, by the way, Flash.
I haven't watched it. I want to watch it just to see what I think about it, though.
Yeah. Go for it and judge it. But DC TV shows I fucking hate. I hate Flash. I hate Arrow. I hate all of them. I think they're underproduced, just bad.
Yeah, I try to
That's just
stay
me.
away from like superhero TV shows.
Yeah.
Like I tried to watch
Movie's
The
better.
Shield at one point.
Which one?
The Shield?
Oh, the Marvel one? Yeah, it's not good.
And it was just so bad. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to taint my like very little knowledge of superheroes with garbage like this. So
Get Disney Plus and then just go on a spree.
I have
watching all the
Disney
good stuff.
Plus.
Marvel, just kill it.
All right.
All right. Next round in the Marvel section, we have Blade versus Venom. Both dark characters. Both very dark characters.
I like Venom better.
You like Venom? I don't think I'll fight you. I love Blade, but I also love Venom. And especially after the movie, I like the way they did him.
Yeah, I think that Venom is just a more complex character, which is what I like about him.
Blade can be pretty complex. They don't go into it in the movies, but I mean, he got dealt a bad hand as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the story.
I kind of know. I kind of remember it.
His mother got bit by a vampire, and
Right.
then he was born, and then the vampire killed his mother, which is why he can, he's called a daywalker. He can walk outside and stuff like that. But So that's gotta fuck you up a little bit. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's not a great hand to be dealt.
No, not at all. But I'm fine. I'm fine with Venom moving on.
All right, Venom it is.
All right, next up we have Battle of the Ladies. She-Hulk versus Storm. I just gotta have to go. I have to go for She-Hulk again because I just love that she's fucking like one of the most powerful people, but she's a fucking lawyer. She's like, I'll beat your ass up, and I'll get you in court. It's like,
So you like
oh
him?
shit.
You like him smart and tough.
I like him smart and tough.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I
And
really like
green.
Storm. What'd you say?
What? No, nothing.
All right. I really like Storm.
Are we have to flip a coin on this one?
No, I'll give you She-Hulk. I'm okay with that. I like him
Okay.
smart and tough too. I
I'll
don't like
give you
him. I don't
Venom,
like
give
him
you
if they can
She-Hulk.
electrocute me when I sleep with them.
That's true. In DC, now we have Swamp Thing versus the Blue Beetle. I have
this
to
is
go
a-
Swamp Thing. Maybe
yeah.
I'm biased, but I have to go with Swamp Thing.
No, I agree with. I think that both of them are very cool characters, very
Mhm.
cool superheroes. But just like Swamp Thing is so cool, man.
It's so cool.
He's just like the Swamp Thing, and he is essentially invincible. He's just dope. He
He
controls
has a
Earth.
really. What's that?
He controls Earth.
He has a really cool series of comics. I don't know. He's definitely just a more interesting character to me. Anyway, I'm sure everybody has their own opinion, but
Yeah,
Swamp
and
Thing,
he's
just
smart.
cool. Yeah. He was a scientist before he got transformed. So
Exactly. All right, Swamp Thing
Yeah.
it is. Move him along.
Swamp Thing moves on. Next one, hard one. Batman versus Aquaman.
This is not hard for me.
You choose Aquaman.
Yes, I do.
I choose Batman. I like Aquaman, the new version of Aquaman. But it's fucking Batman. It's fucking
Yeah, but
Adam
Batman
West.
doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a rich guy who has endless money. Granted, he uses it well. He's very smart, very intelligent.
Definitely the smartest. He's like the Tony Stark of.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
DC.
He's that's the mirror. Like that's their
Yes.
answer to each other. But
Yes.
like, Aquaman has actual superpowers.
You just want to talk to fucking dolphins.
Yeah,
That's all
I
you want
want
to
to
do.
breathe underwater.
We
I
might have
actually
flip
want
a
to
coin
talk
for
to
this one.
octopus more. Yeah, I think
An
we should-
octopus?
Yeah, I want to talk to an octopus more than
Oh,
dolphins.
yeah. Out of all the underwater sea creatures, you're like the eight-legged thing.
Yeah, octopus are my favorite animal. Plus, they're super smart.
How are octopuses your favorite animal? This is new to me.
What? Octopus have been my favorite animal forever. Dolphins were my thing back in like middle school. I don't know where you.
That was everybody's thing, I feel like.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
was.
Dolphins and unicorns. And
No, I was never a unicorn person.
I know why you like octopuses. They got them
Why?
8 tentacle hands.
Yeah.
Get all nasty.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
All right.
so we have to flip a coin on this one?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to flip a coin on this one.
I don't have a coin.
I have a
but
ball
I-
cap.
I was going to use a notepad. On one side, I would write B for Batman and A for Aquaman.
I think that makes more sense. Weight distribution.
That's true, yeah.
Wise. Yeah.
Okay, so B on top there and A on the
All
bottom.
right, show me both.
Flip. Shit. It's Aquaman.
Yes. Ugh.
Gonna get some flack for that. All right. We are down to the finals in each conference. We have for Marvel Venom versus She-Hulk.
Are you leaning more towards She-Hulk, Robbie?
Only because, like, personally, I grew up reading the She-Hulk, so it's just kind of... I'm a little biased, but Venom is one of the coolest
I think
characters because he's an anti-hero. He's good, but he's also kind of bad sometimes. Like, he wants to eat humans. If you watch the movie, he's like, I gotta eat him. You're like, no, don't eat him.
yeah, it's like a constant like battle of between.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
Punisher. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, I love the Punisher. I think Venom is cooler than She-Hulk.
I guess if you have to go with cool,
That's what
And
this is
not-
based on. That's
I know,
what we said.
I know. But I'm saying overall, cool Venom.
Yes, Venom.
And he's like cool black. Like he has that cool black.
Yeah, his costume
shade,
is super
like he's-
sweet.
Yeah.
His fucking
Costume or-
teeth.
biological.
Yeah, his
symbiote
biological
parasite. Yeah.
controlling parasite. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you
All
want
right.
to call it.
In the finals in DC, we have Swamp Thing versus a guy who talks to octopi.
Robbie, you didn't have to downplay Aquaman. Okay, I was gonna choose Swamp Thing regardless.
I don't have to downplay Aquaman. Like Aquaman did that for himself.
All right,
for a long
all
time.
right. Stop it. Aquaman's awesome.
He's awesome now. And that's the only reason I'm choosing Swamp Thing is because Aquaman is just awesome now. He hasn't always been cool.
I liked Aquaman before this
Did
Aquaman
you?
movie. That's why I watched the Aquaman movie, because I like Aquaman.
I know, but it's based off the new Aquaman, not
I know.
the old Aquaman. Let's be honest, he was pretty gay. He was pretty gay.
Probably why I like him.
He's pretty gay.
He was a guy who could swim underwater and talk to fish, and his name was Arthur, and he looked like a fairy.
There's a
Not
lot of
Arthur.
iterations of Aquaman, but I feel like Swamp Thing could talk to fish too. He could talk to swamp fish.
Swamp fish. Alligators?
No, swamp fish. New Orleans people. Isn't that what they're called?
Oh no. Yeah, no, Swamp Thing is definitely way cooler than Aquaman.
Yeah,
I
definitely
just
way
love
cooler.
Aquaman.
I like Aquaman too. Just new Aquaman.
Yeah. Well,
All right, in the finals, we have Venom. Venom. You know that song that Eminem wrote for the movie? Did you hear that?
no. I've never seen the movie.
I don't know if he wrote it for the movie or he just wrote it and then they were like, the song was called Venom, so we'll use it in the movie.
He probably wrote it for the movie.
It's definitely possible. It doesn't sound like Marshall Mathers, but he might have actually done it. We have Venom versus Swamp Thing. Thang,
Both.
Thang.
You know, it kind of hurts my heart a little bit to say that Swamp Thing is cooler than Venom just because he's in the DC world versus the Marvel world.
Seriously, that's the only reason like it hurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate DC. I am not a DC fan for the
Me
most part.
either.
I like Batman, but Swamp Thing has my heart.
Yeah. I definitely agree that Swamp Man is way better than Venom.
Swamp Man.
Swamp Man. Swamp Thing.
God,
Swamp
we're getting
Man.
an email
I'm
about
thinking
that.
Oh my god. Cut it out. Cut it out. Don't let people
Goddamn
hear
Swamp
it.
Man.
I was thinking about Aquaman, you know what I mean? Ah, shit. Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow. If a Swamp Thing. I don't even remember what I was saying now. I'm so flustered.
So we have finally decided who is the coolest / the best of the superheroes that we chose. There's a lot of people missing. There's a lot of heroes that I left out on purpose because I know they were super popular, like Deadpool.
Yeah, I really like Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool's amazing. I know.
he's-
I feel like he would have won. It
He
would have been
definitely-
Deadpool and Swamp Thing. But I am so glad Swamp Thing won. He's just cool.
He's
cool.
so
How can you not
cool.
like Swamp Thing?
He's such an
Have you-
underrated.
underrated,
superhero.
and his character art. If you've seen the artwork of Swamp Thing, it's so much different than the rest of the DC
Yes.
and Marvel comics. It's just so cool. It's so unique, and I think it's dark. It's creepy. It's got kind of a horror aspect to it.
It's definitely
It's the
right
best.
up your alley.
Right up my alley,
Yes.
which is the name of the porn I'm making. So
Wow, that's a really
It
good name
fits-
for a porn.
it fits perfectly. Before we go, we're gonna rate our beers very quickly. Lauren, what do you got?
Well, Robbie, I have been drinking La Pinguita en Fuego, which is some sort of fire nun thing. It's
Some sort of fire nun thing.
yeah, there's a nun with fire hands. It's a
Excuse me.
penguin on fire, I guess. Imperial Stout aged in rum barrels with habaneros, 9% ABV from Clown Shoes Brewing in Ipswich, Mass.
Nice.
It is delicious and chocolatey, and it's not spicy the way that you would expect a pepper beer to be spicy, and it doesn't have the pepper taste of the habanero, which I really like because I hate when it tastes like pepper.
yeah,
it
it's
just-
disgusting.
Yeah, it just gives you like that tingle of habanero like on your tongue with like
Mm-hmm.
deep dark chocolate. And a little bit of rum, like that sugary that you get from rum, like that sweetness that you do. It's delicious. I would rate this beer 3.75.
Nice.
Yeah,
I drank Broken Skull IPA from El Segunda Brewing.
Give me a hell yeah!
This is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Give me a hell yeah. That's his beer. It's not bad. I thought it was going to be gimmicky, as I said in the beginning. It's
Right.
not. It's flavorful. It makes you feel just good. It's just a nice beer. It's just nice. You know what I'm talking about? When
Yeah.
You're just outside and you're just like, this is good.
Yeah, you're
It's
just
good.
chugging a good outdoor beer.
Exactly. Three. Oh, this is hard. If we're going off of the Untapped, yeah.
3.75.
If we're going off of Untapped ratings, I'm going to go 3.50. If it was kind of our own shtick, I'd do like a 3.6. But
So slightly better than 3.5.
yeah. Slightly better than 3.5, but not a 3.75. Yeah, Broken Skull IPA. Well, that just about wraps it up for this episode. You can find The Brew Interviews on our Instagram account at The Brew Interviews or on Twitter at The Brew Interviews. You can also send us an email at thebrewinterviews@gmail.com or on Facebook under The Brew Interviews. And if you feel so inclined, you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Brew Interviews and become part of The Brew Interviews family, just like these few people: Hillary, Mitch, Steph, Karen, Danny, Jess, and the Wreck My Podcast crew, who is also doing this superhero bracket that I created, because I sent it to them as well, so they're very excited about that. Thank you very much for supporting the show. Also, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps us out. And be sure to head over to adamandeve.com and use our promo code BREW4U, that's the number 4, to help support the show and maybe get yourself or a loved one something very special. And finally, a thank you to our other sponsor, the Patkey Beer Store in Manchester, New Hampshire. If you are ever nearby, please stop in and support a great local business. They have an amazing selection. Super nice. Super nice.
Yeah, they're the best. I love the Packey.
For The Brew Interviews, I'm Robbie.
And I'm Lauren.
Good night.
Good night.
This has been The Brew Interviews, a podcast about craft beers coast to coast with Lauren and Robbie.
My cat's gonna be a crispy nugget.